morning. My name is Terry Heiser-Haynes, and I'm Business Service Supervisor for Lassen, Modoc, Plumas, and Sierra counties for Alliance for Workforce Development. Let's begin this webinar, Layoff Assistance for Rapid Response for those unemployed or underemployed, with an emphasis on the reflection of COVID-19 in your area. A couple features that I'd like to go over before we begin is if you have any questions throughout this webinar, you can use the chat feature or the question and answer option at the bottom of your screen to pose your questions. We will be allowing time after each panelist's presentation to present questions pertaining to their expertise, and we will also ensure that all questions are answered at the end of this webinar. Additionally, if you raise your hand, that feature has been disabled for now. So if you have a question, if you raise your hand, I can't answer that. You still need to type it in to the chat or the question and answer feature. Sorry about that. So the first thing I'd like to review is our location in Sierra County. We are located at 305 South Lincoln Street. We're open 9 to 5 from 9 a.m. We're open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And our office number is 994-3349. Other ways to connect with us is through COVID-19 customer at ncen.org, and Debbie DaVincio is available to assist you with any of your questions or hiring needs. So I'd like to go over the agenda with you. We will be going over the Employment Development Department's benefit programs that are available, along with a local assistance that's available for Sierra County residents. We have some financial tips. We have Alliance for Workforce Development Services, our employment and training services. Again, we'll be answering questions, and we have a poll at the end of this webinar that we would like people to take so we can get a pulse on what the needs are in the local area. Additionally, we will be having all of the handouts and the resource emailed to everybody at the end of the session. So with that said, I'd also like to introduce some of our folks that are helping us today. We have Christine Farrell, who is Assistant Director and Campfire Recovery Team for Alliance for Workforce Development. Amy Velasquez, who is Director of Business Services for Alliance for Workforce Development. Debbie DaVincio, she is our Resource and Referral Coordinator in our Sierra office. Chrissy Adams is our Career Center Advisor Supervisor for Lassen, Modoc, and Plumas counties. And then we're hoping to have on the line Lori McGee, who is Integrated Caseworker Supervisor for Sierra County Community Social Services. So with that, I would like to introduce Chrissy Adams, who will be going over the Employment Development Department's benefits.
Hi, this is Chrissy Adams. I'm a program supervisor with Alliance for Workforce Development. I am not an Employment Development Department representative, but I'm going to explain this information as I understand it, and all of this information can also be found on the EDD website. And the sheets and booklets, that are attached in the webinar will also be emailed to you at the end of the webinar. So this on the screen right now is the benefits guide that's pre-pandemic unemployment information. So this can be found if you search for form DE2320. So if you wanted to look at information there. We can move on to the next slide. Okay, so there are 3 different ways that you can apply for unemployment. The preferred method and the fastest method is to apply online. And you can also apply by paper and then faxing it in, but this is slow and we don't recommend that you use that method unless you really have to. For example, if you're a federal employee and it's the only way that you can apply, then you would have to do it that way. But with so many applications coming in, if you fax your application, it's going to take much longer and you run the risk of it getting lost. So right now they're saying that method takes about 4 weeks. The third way is by phone, and you would be calling 800-300-5616, and this is an automated system, and it tells you the options that you would need to select, and there are other language options available. But please note that the call centers are overloaded, and although they've hired over 1,000 people to assist, it's still going to take a long time. So if you get to the point where you've been on hold and you actually get through to something where it tells you you're on hold, don't hang up because it's really hard to get to that point. Okay, next slide. Okay, so for the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, these are for people who may have been self-employed or an independent contractor or filed a 1099. When you go in to file your claim, if you already filed a claim before April 28th, then you have to refile. But you would go into the EDD website, it's edd.ca.gov still, and you would still do UI online, just like you would for regular unemployment. But it's going to ask you some more questions that are related to the pandemic unemployment. So they've received, at one point they received over 600,000 claims in 1 week. So you just need to realize that it's taking a long time for everyone to get through and be patient. Okay, so go ahead to the next slide. So if you are filing for pandemic unemployment assistance, you can go to edd.ca.gov, and it's going to have also questions that you can ask for pandemic unemployment assistance, so you can click on those links. Like I said before, if you're self-employed, an independent contractor, you filed a 1099, or someone else that may otherwise qualify for pandemic unemployment assistance, if you already applied for unemployment benefits, you have to reapply if it was before April 28th, because the pandemic unemployment application was not available until April 28th. You would have to have your 2019 net income in order to file, and if you didn't have employee wages for the past 18 months, you need to still go ahead and apply for pandemic unemployment assistance. You don't need to cancel your existing unemployment claim, and you don't need to call EDD about the prior claim that you filed. You just need to file a new claim. If you received a notice of a $0 award amount or notice of disqualification, or you exhausted a prior claim and are now unemployed due to COVID, go ahead and reapply. Okay, so Unemployment Online is EDD's application portal for both regular and pandemic unemployment claims. So you're going to still click on UI Online no matter which type of unemployment you're doing. You're going to be asked the same basic questions, including your employment history, earnings information, and new questions that they need to determine pandemic unemployment eligibility. Based on your responses, they're going to determine whether your claim is going to be processed as a regular unemployment claim or a pandemic unemployment claim. There's a 7-day waiting period that is waived for claims that began on or after January 19th of 2020. So after you submit your first 2-week certification, you'll be paid for the first week of your claim. Pandemic unemployment is not calculated the same way as regular unemployment, and they're taking an average of the entire state. That's how they have like a formula that they've done. And so everyone gets the same minimum base amount of $167 a week, and all of the people who are receiving unemployment are receiving an additional $600 a week. So pandemic unemployment started February 2nd, and they didn't start taking applications for it until April 28th. So that means when you apply and put the last day worked, you may have a chance to get back pay all the way back to when you stopped working, but it's going to take a while to get to you. Pandemic unemployment also extends unemployment by 13 weeks, so you can get up to 39 weeks of unemployment total. Pandemic unemployment has an end date of December 26, 2020. And pandemic unemployment goes in phases. So at this time, everyone's going to get a minimum payment of $167 plus the $600 that everybody is getting if they're eligible as their first payment. If you receive something different than that, you might be getting just regular unemployment. And some people may decide they want to switch to pandemic unemployment, but if you were found eligible for regular unemployment, you are not able to change it. And you do have the potential to make less receiving regular unemployment. But if you do exhaust your unemployment, you can apply for a new claim under pandemic unemployment. If you are trying to get higher pandemic unemployment-based payments, you have to report your earnings from your 2019 taxes. So if you're trying to get higher than the 167 base. Okay, move on to the next slide, please. So information you need when you're going to file your claim. You're going to need to have your full name, your birth date, your full mailing address, your social security number, and if you are not a U.S. citizen, you would need to have an employment authorization document that has a number on it. You'd have to enter that number. You also need to have your employment history for the last 18 months, and you're going to put that in reverse chronological order, so the most recent employment first. You need the name of the employer, the addresses, phone numbers, your total income earned, and why each job ended. And there is a save draft option on that employment application, but it will only save it for 24 hours, and then you'll have to start over again. And if your job ended due to COVID-19, there is an option for that. Okay, we can move on to the next slide. Okay, so you have to register for your benefit program account, and it's benefit payments online or BPO. If you already have an existing account, you can skip this step, but you do have to register with your email address, and so it needs to be an email that no one else uses because it's going to be linked to your social security number. So once that email address has been used, nobody else can file for unemployment or anything like that with that same email address. And you must be able to access the email account that you use once you complete your application. They're going to send you some information and links that you have to be able to access your email in order to get through everything. So you'll get a confirmation number, so make sure you keep track of the confirmation number. And then you'll get an email with a link that you need to complete. So you would go into your email, click on the link, and it's going to activate your account. And then we really recommend that you write down or take a picture of your passwords and the security questions that you answer. That way, if something goes wrong, you have a way to get back into your account. Okay, go to the next slide. So once you have submitted your unemployment application, it's final. You can't make any changes to it. We recommend that you print or save a copy of it if possible. And you're going to get a 10-digit number, so make sure you keep track of that. It could take up to 3 weeks or 15 days to process your claim and start receiving payments. So in order to receive your payments, you're supposed to be certifying every 2 weeks, and you'll get letters and notices from EDD regarding your claim. And so you should be getting a notice that you filed the claim, a notice you were awarded or denied, and a notice regarding your requirement to register with CALJOBS. Okay, so we're past May 9th, but between March 14th and May 9th, people didn't have to certify for their benefits, but we don't need to worry about that now because we are beyond that point. Okay, so if you certify online for your payments rather than doing it by mail, it goes through faster. And normally you have to answer the question if they ask if you're available to work right now. You would normally say yes, but because of the COVID-19 and people not being able to work, the answer can be no at this time, but for regular unemployment, your answer should be yes, you are available to work. If you use email reminders on UI Online, it will tell you when you're supposed to certify. So those are things you should check your email regularly for any reminders that they give you or notifications. If you're eligible for pandemic unemployment assistance, you'll receive your payments through an EDD debit card. And if you're approved, you're going to be receiving your first pandemic unemployment payment approximately 2 days after your application has been approved. And you would be getting an EDD debit card thereafter, and it's going to have your payments placed on it. And that card is good for up to 3 years, so it can be used for any other claims that you have after this, so make sure you keep track of it. And so the debit card would come in the mail between 7 and 10 business days, and you can transfer money to your bank account from that debit card. And there's a website for B of A, and it's prepaid.bankofamerica.com/EDD-card/home/index. So it is a closed door division of Bank of America, and you are not able to actually go in and speak to anyone. So there is a phone number that you can call if you have questions. It's 866-692-9374. And if you had a previous claim or lost your EDD debit card, you have to contact B of A in order to get a new one issued. And so, like I said before, make sure you frequently check your email for notices, and you'll get your information faster that way. You can go to the next slide. So it is a requirement for everyone who is receiving unemployment to register for CALJOBS once they've applied for unemployment. And CALJOBS is a state job exchange, and one of the good things about that is you can post resumes there, and you can post up to 7, or I'm sorry, I don't know where I got 7. You can post up to 10 different resumes in CALJOBS. So depending on what type of work you're looking for, you can have it modified for the different types of jobs. There's also a program called California Training Benefits through the Employment Development Department. If you're interested in attending training while you're receiving unemployment, it's a requirement to flag your account before the 16th week of your claim. So we recommend you do it as soon as you think you might be wanting to do some kind of training. You can go onto your account online and flag it yourself, or you can call them and let them know. And you would call 800-300-5616. And when you're certifying for benefits, they have a question. They'll ask if you're attending training, and if you answer that yes, that will also flag your account, and they would send you information on California training benefits. So one of the things about California training benefits is it gives you the potential to extend your claim while you're in your training. And when you're in training, you're not required to be looking for work, because they realize that going to school is kind of like, that takes the place of your work. So you have to have a way to cover your own expenses for school and be able to support yourself while you're in school. The California training benefits don't cover or offer any funding to pay for your school or books or tuition, any of that. So one thing that you can do is you can make use of a WIOA service provider, such as Alliance for Workforce Development, which is the agency that I am with, and we can help with training assistance for required items. Okay, so that's about it for California training benefits. Okay, so another thing that Employment Development Department offers assistance with is veteran services. And they offer resources to anyone who is a veteran, and they can give personalized job search assistance, and they help eligible veterans find jobs, and they can provide one-on-one assistance. They don't offer any monetary assistance, but they do offer support and counseling. And Department of Labor also has a veteran services branch. And if you register in CalJobs, if you are a veteran, you get priority of service, so you get information on new jobs before anybody else does. And Alliance for Workforce Development also provides veterans with priority of services in our offices. Okay, so these are some links that you can find that are helpful regarding unemployment, and there's also Department of Labor links there. So if you have any other questions, you can look for the frequently asked questions that they have on those sites. And then other than that, does anybody have any other questions for us at this time?
Chrissy, I see none at this time, but again, I want to encourage our attendees that if you have any questions, we certainly can answer them at the end of this webinar and get the resources to you in a timely manner. So we unfortunately do not have a representative from the Social Services Department for Sierra County. So I'm briefly going to go over some of the programs. They do have assistance programs that they administer for Sierra County that may be beneficial to our audience. First, I'm just going to go down the list. CalFresh. CalFresh is a supplemental nutrition program to individuals and families who meet eligibility criteria. The purpose of it is to assist the households in increasing their food purchase power. Medi-Cal or Path to Health or CMSP. Those are healthcare coverages for qualified persons and families throughout Sierra County. Then we have CalWorks, which is a supplemental assistance to needy families with children, while the caregivers and parents seek employment and self-sufficiency. General Relief is it's a prepayment or repayable cash aid for assistance and needs for Sierra County's disadvantaged citizens. Then we have the WIC program, which is Women, Infants, and Children's. It's a supplemental nutrition program for federally funded health and nutrition programs. It is eligibility factors are women who are pregnant, breastfeeding, or just had a baby, children under the age of 5 years old, including foster children, and families with low to medium income. Working families may qualify. If you would like to apply, you can call 530-993-6720 or apply online at www.c as in C, then 4yourself.com or www.getcalfresh.org or www.benefitscal.org. Public Assistance Office is located at 202 Front Street in Loyalton, California. And again, their phone number is 530-993-6767. Additional resources in Sierra County are, we have Plumas Sierra Rural Electric Co-op, which it could assist you with your utility payments as far as maybe deferring late payments, things like that, along with Liberty Utilities also offers some assistance for any hardship help. There are food banks in Sierra County. High Sierra Family Services provides that. Western Sierra Food Bank has services, and then there's Loyalton Senior Center, which does hot meal delivery and commodities delivery. And again, I just want to remind you that at the end of this webinar, you will be sent the links for all of the handouts and the various resources that we have. And you also had that in your reminder email. And we have compiled a list of a lot of different resources that Sierra County has to offer. So please do look at that. So with that said, I'd like to move on with Chrissy and financial tips and reminders.
Okay, So as a reminder, what I reviewed already, if you're going to apply for unemployment, it would be either regular unemployment or pandemic unemployment assistance, depending on your situation. You would still need to go to the same website, which is edd.ca.gov, and you would apply for UI online. Also, if you're going to apply for county social services benefits, you would go to seeforyourself.com online, or you can fill out a paper application at your social services office. If you have not already received the stimulus payment, you can go to the Check IRS website and you would click on Get My Payment and you enter in your information, and it would be able to tell you if you have already been issued a payment. It can tell you when it was sent, and the mailing address that it would go to would be the address you had when you filed your last taxes. If you have been, if you have gotten a refund from your taxes before, it would be direct deposited into your account. If you're needing to do an early withdrawal from your retirement, the penalties being waived for COVID-19 related distributions, we recommend that you speak with a financial advisor on this. Student loan repayments have been suspended between March 13th and September 30th of 2020. If you're signed up for a direct debit program, your payment will not be withdrawn at this time. If you're still wishing to make a payment, you will need to contact them to set that up. Some mortgage companies are suspending payments at this time. If you need to defer your payment, you need to contact your mortgage company directly to get more help and information on that. And also some utility companies, like Terry mentioned, are suspending late fees or disconnection services during this time, so you would contact your utility company directly for more help and information on that. Okay, so I'm just going to review the services Alliance for Workforce Development provides. We are part of America's Job Centers of California, and we help businesses and individuals with training needs. So we are available to help in many different areas, so give us a call if you're interested. Again, our Sierra office is located at 305 South Lincoln Street in Sierraville, and our phone number is 530-994-3349. Our staff member there to serve you is Deborah DeVenzio. And so ways that we can assist job seekers: we provide one-on-one services from our knowledgeable and experienced staff. We have 3 regular programs: the adult program, the dislocated worker program, and the youth program. And then we also have special programs. Right now we have the COVID-19 affected workers grant, and we also have a dislocated worker impact grant that offers supportive services. All our services are free, and we're here to help and guide and mentor you and make sure you're aware of all of the available resources that you can take advantage of. We do have a self-service computer lab, and we have a fax machine, copy machine, printers, and phones for job search and training related purposes. We network with employers, and we provide a lot of job readiness services. Okay, so currently we have some special programs that are specific to those affected by COVID-19. And depending on your income, you could be eligible for either $400 or $800 in supportive service assistance. And it is of limited availability, but the extra money that we can provide would help people get back to work or hold them over until they can return to work. So we have the potential to assist you with housing, like rent assistance, utilities, childcare, gas, work and tools, work attire, other needs that you might have. So it's going to depend on your specific case. We also have a temporary work experience program. This would be temporary jobs that we can place people in with county or public agencies, and those are limited as well. So if you're interested, get a hold of us pretty quick. And these would allow you to help out in the community with COVID-related impacts. We're currently working to find work sites and employers who would like to take advantage of this opportunity. So if you're interested in participating, also contact us. We have the possibility of temporary work placements through both our special grants and our normal funding. So in the normal funding, we also do internships, mainly with our youth program, which serves individuals between the ages of 17 and 24. And it provides hands-on experience in areas they might not have done as work before. Sometimes if somebody has not had a job at all before, it gives them some soft skills experience. We also offer work experience and temporary jobs through our special grants. And these are going to offer temporary employment experience to get people through a tough time where they can't find employment otherwise. So another program that we have is our on-the-job training program. And with that, we partner with employers who are interested in hiring someone who may not have all of the experience required to normally get that type of position and work in it without supervision. So it offers an opportunity to people who have no experience in that particular type of work or career. And sometimes we can get someone hired that wouldn't be able to get that job because they don't meet the requirements. It's an incentive to employers also because we help to offset the expenses of training a new employee. We also offer training assistance in the classroom and in vocational training for eligible programs in colleges and other training providers. And we're able to assist with required training costs such as books, equipment, and tuition. Some of the most common trainings in our areas are between Lassen and Sierra. I would say there's some healthcare programs over at Lassen College, such as the Licensed Vocational Nursing Program, the Certified Nursing Assistant Program, Certified Medical Assistant Programs. Also in Sierra County, we have partnered with the Sierra County Sheriff's Department to send someone to a post academy to get training in law enforcement.
Thank you, Chrissy. So we are going to, I'm going to be launching a poll right now. Again, I'd like to encourage our attendees to complete that. Just answer some brief questions. And again, that's going to assist us with what type of services there may be needed in the community or for you personally. I'd like to visit a couple things to just remind you too that you will be getting all of the resources, the handouts and all that at the end of this webinar via an email. So please do look at those and utilize them. And then we have a search engine or a platform called nortechjobs.org. This is where you can go and look for jobs in your local area. So AFWD staff, as we have a recruitment from a business, we go on and we post all of those positions on Nortech Jobs. It's very easy to search for. You can do it by county. You can do it by a specific position, trade that you're looking at. So it is very, very easy to navigate. So I encourage you to look at that if you're looking for positions, and also to contact our office there in Sierraville, because we assist again with resume writing and interviewing skills, job leads, things like that. So would like you to utilize those services. Our number in Sierra County is 994-3349, and you can call and leave us a message and we'll get back to you. And then other ways to reach us, again, is at our local offices, and then we have Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So go on to any of those sites and follow us, Alliance for Workforce Development Incorporated. We also have a web chat feature on our website, www.afwd.org. You can pose questions there and we will get back to you, get those resources back to you. And specifically for this webinar, we have an email address, which is covid19customer@ncen.org. So with that, that's ending our webinar today. And I just wanted to reach out to see if anyone has any questions. We'd be happy to answer them at this time. Okay, well, seeing none, I thank you for your time for today and wish you a good afternoon, and stay safe, and we will be following up with the attendees from our webinar. Thank you.